Okay, now you see how dress differences can be there. All of them are wearing formals in some form or the other. All people on this screen on slide 81 are wearing formals. All people on slide 81 are wearing formals, but none of them is duplicated. Okay, see the difference between this lady whom I'm going to highlight and this one. Lady on number 2 and number 8. Lady on sequence 2 and sequence 8. What's the difference? There is a very major difference. What is the difference? No, not nurse. Both of them are wearing western formals. Nope. First one, lady at sequence number 2 is a US dress, US, and lady at sequence number 3 is British. The length of the skirt, the cut of the jacket is the difference. So if you were able to recognize it, good. If you were not, learn from it. Okay. Now what we were saying, lady on sequence number 2 is American. Lady at sequence number 8 is primarily UK. So that was what difference I was trying to. I'm giving primaries. There is no certainty. Of course, there will be other examples, but okay, I'll do it from next time. If there is something that needs to be shown, I'll do that. Fine. Okay. Now, time. We had a big hallabaji earlier in the morning today. Time. What was that? What was that? Okay, what is the funny full form of this term? What is the funny full form of this term? IST. Indian stretchable time. So for us as Indians, for us time is not, I don't know, maybe I should be saying that because there are people who would go and come and beat me up if I said that, but for me personally, time is not, let's say, that important. The work or the activity that is being done is probably more important, but that's me. You can all have your own perspective on it. So that is what time differs. Anybody being on time in Germany, in Japan, in US, UK is more important. For us, we are more liberal in that way. Less strict when it comes to enforcing time. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know. Defense, I don't know, they have this one funny term I was reading in Reader Digest. It is, there's a Reader Digest that I'll tell you. There is a term I read, rush and wait around. Train here also leave on time. I have had good experiences with Indian Railways. I don't know. Maybe I'm fortunate. Trains are left exactly on time and reached before time. I was traveling to Haridwar one day. I left on time. The train time was 7:05. That was the train time departure from Delhi. Okay. Train departed at exactly 07:05. Arrival was 13:10. Was arrival, and we reached on this time. Actually reached there, and it happened 4 times. I've been to Haridwar twice, so once going, once coming, once going, once coming. Both the times the train was bang on time, to the second it was on time. And I don't know whether you've used that option or not. Indian Railways has a very good option. There is a website that you can check. It gives you an update about the train, where it is every 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes it gets refreshed. It's there on the website. You can track the train, exactly track it, where it is, when it is, how late it's going to be. Even the TGV was behind schedule, but TGV is so fast that we just ignore the fact that it's on without schedule or not. No, it's on ICT's website. It's Indian Railway own website, they keep tracking it. And sometimes it's very good, you can plan where your train is and be late accordingly or be early accordingly. So that's a good option. So all I'm trying to say is that all these variances do have a difference. We assume certain things to happen, they may or may not happen on a regular basis. So when we talk of culture and communication culture, we did this topic last time, if you remember. We did this topic called perception. It's all about a perception. It's all about a perception. So punctuality, status, decision making, formatting of time, dates, language, religion, efficiency, effectiveness, all those things are all about perception. Okay, now before I close off this topic, I just want to do this one small thing with you. Just try and implement it. If you guys do it or not, I don't know, but date may please avoid dates like this. Why should I avoid a date like this? I should avoid writing a date like this. But Anil, in India we follow DDMMYY. MMDDYY is a US format. It could be 8th of May, it could be 5th of August. So I'll give you one example. Let's say there's an Indian company that has got an order from a US client. Okay, delivery date is 5/8/12. So if I'm an Indian, what do I assume? When should I deliver the product to my customer? 5th August. But when does the customer think he's asked for the product? Customer point of view, 8th May. So he's expecting his product on 8th of May and I am chilled that I need to submit it by August. So I'm relaxed. So easily the best way is write this. Wrong thing. Or whatever, write it like this. Both work. In this, there is no scope at all of any confusion. No scope at all. And secondly, in Gmail, if you guys use Gmail, how many of you have got that local time enabled? There's an app that is there that shows the local time of the person who sent the mail. When did he or she send the mail to you? So when I get mails from my US or foreign students, you can check it that when they sent the mail and when I have received it. It gives both times. GMT plus so and so it gives out. GMT or UTC, whatever it's called. So just keep that in mind. And secondly, when you write time, please write like this. Please write like this. Avoid that AM and PM nonsense. Preferably go for a 24-hour format. And secondly, if there is a confusion somewhere, please do write the timing. So when I write the class timings, if you've gone through my welcome mail, what does it say there? Class timings will be in what time format? Seen that line? Is there one line it says? It says No. Why have I written this? All classes are in IST. Why? So that you guys can match your time frame accordingly. anything works, just as long as it's clear. That's it. If it is May 3rd, 2012, doesn't matter. 3rd May 2012 doesn't matter. As long as it's clear. That is our perspective. It gets confusing sometimes. Just try and make it as simple as you can make it. Okay, then it's fine. This is fine. Okay, then I'll move on. Okay, we'll just do one of these caselets. We'll not do all because I don't want to spend too much of time here. Let the next slide come. Okay. Next one. Read this. Let's just do one caselet. Just one of these caselets. So this is the small case. Just read it, please. Let's just read it first. Let everybody just read it. It's not very big. It won't take more than 1 minute for you guys to read it through. Then we'll see. No. What is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem? Where all are the problem areas? Number one is late. Don't you wait for the other person to say enter before entering a room? You just knock and just walk in. What's the point of knocking then? What's the point of knocking? Okay, then Germans are very particular about their designations. Very particular about the designations, and I'm not sure if Rashi can help me here. I don't think they allow people to talk in their first name. It's usually the surname, especially if it's a formal interaction. I'm not sure, but that's what I've heard about. I'm not sure whether it happens there, but I have seen people will not say Herr so and so. It would be, I don't think they'll be allowing their first name as well. So just be cautious. Just be cautious, especially for those of you who are working in multinational organizations. You may encounter a person from any background. Na? So you need to have knowledge about that person's background so that you can ask. Okay, so maybe I am looking at it from a formal system. So if that's fair, so Rashi is giving us another perspective on this. Other guys can have their own perspective. Okay. So this is what the theory says. Of course, that's why I was just double checking the practice. So punctuality, just see these 4 points. Punctuality, privacy. Okay, yes, I can support what Rashi is saying here. Write surname in mail. I'll tell you one. I got a mail from a lady in this place. Not Amsterdam, it's actually the other place. Okay, I got a mail from this lady here. So the name was written like this. Can anybody tell me whether it's male or female? I don't know. I didn't manage to catch that it's male or female. I didn't manage to catch. Okay, so what I did was I just reverted to her like this. I reverted to her like this because that's the way I talk to you guys. So I said, dear so and so, and I mailed it back. At least I was at least right enough in taking which was the first name and which was the surname. So this is the way I sent it. She didn't say anything. And the next mail came in her signature when it was there at the line. Signature line, she wrote her name as it was like this: regards, else Jans, and this is how she wrote her name. Then I could make out. Then from next time I was sure that I wrote like this, and then it was fine. This is the way she reverted back. She didn't say anything. So since she was from Netherlands, I think Germany, Netherlands, they have a similar language. Not sure, but it's not that different. So the structures are similarized. So just be cautious. See, even anybody can make mistakes, and these mistakes can later on be sometimes very idiotic, and they can cause problems that you didn't even think existed ever. Those problems will be caused by these mistakes. Okay, so that is fine. Let's move on. Okay. Americans have a problem with being called Mrs. because then it declares their marital status to everybody. And then they can't go out running around the world. Okay, let my slide load. Then we'll move on. Okay, so just doing this was not just to pakaw you people, but you need to be aware of what is happening and what is going on, so that you can then plan your things accordingly and you don't make these kind of minor mistakes. Sometimes these minor mistakes can really be misery and really hurt you a lot. So just be cautious about it, and that you guys don't make mistakes. Now even if we say that there's a cultural difference, now see this. What's the difference in these four Englishes? What's the difference in these four English languages? What's the difference? The grammar is the same, the alphabet is the same, the basic sentence structure is the same. What's the difference? Difference is in terms of the words that are being used, the grammar that is used, and the structure that is used. Okay. So what's the difference between if I write defense with a S or with a C? What's the difference? But according to the dictionary I choose, it can be right or wrong. It can be red flagged or green flagged, depending on the dictionary I'm choosing. So that is important. Okay. Next point. ये छोड़ दो अभी, we don't have time to load the videos. Okay, now just look at this slide. Slide 97. I hope everybody is on this slide. Minimize and refresh. Minimize and maximize, it will turn up. There was a bit of a hang in between, but now it's, I think, back on track. Yeah, we are back on track. Okay, so just see this slide. Just read this slide for 1 minute. I want you guys to read this slide. Okay, please read all what this slide says. So be cautious with all these problems. This is key to communication. Pratisha, just minimize and maximize again. क्या हुआ guys, relax, क्या हो गया? Nothing happened. We are back. We are back. Just minimize, maximize यार, it should work. It's working fine यार, my system has not crashed so far. It's working perfectly fine. I don't know what's the problem, but it's working fine. Here it's working fine. Bit slow perhaps. It's not lightning fast, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Mine is working perfectly fine. पता नहीं what is the problem. Mine is working crisp and clear यार. Okay, now let's come to the next topic. Okay, fine. So we are there back. Okay, at least we are back now. Fine. That is the important point. We are back. So let's just come to the next topic I need to talk about in this communication wala part, which is, I hope all of you know the meaning of this term, stereotype. I hope that you do know the meaning of this term. Not a same reaction. Okay, that could be one of them. A same reaction to everything could be one. Then we could have a misplaced reaction to a particular feedback. Okay, let me take one example. Okay, now see this one. See this example. Now, what is your take on this example? What is your take on this example? Okay. Let the whole chat window run, then I'll tell what I want to say. Okay. Okay, now just do one thing, just scroll up. From when I gave that example to all the chats that have come below, look at it from that picture. Okay, I'll just summarize. Now tell me, you see yourself? See in front of yourself only. Ashwini, this is fortunate that it's a distance learning course and the fact that you are online. If you were in a physical classroom, I would not want to be responsible for your health. I do not want to be responsible for your health if you persist with making statements like this. I'm really sorry, but I will not be responsible for your health. That's the partner, because you are in an online classroom. Fortunately for you. Okay, see, now what happens with these stereotypes is this true? It's just based on a generalization of the facts that we have in front of us. So if we are able to see that difference, then I think my job is done. If we are able to see through that difference and we are able to treat every instance on a case by case basis, I think my job is done. So that was exactly my point, that when we talk of stereotypes, they could be based on age, gender, education, religion, culture, social standing, financial position. So all these stereotypes are bad, let's just put it that way, because they are not giving scope for individual freedom. Okay, so that does this part. Then let's move on. Okay. Okay. Problem is that stereotypes will lead to the last point on the screen: bad working environment. We are all stereotypes, yes. There is nobody who can, even the very fact that we say we are non-stereotyped is itself a stereotype. Because we are trying to project an image that we are not. So just keep that in mind. Yes, that is absolutely right. Sushmita has raised a very valid point that all of us are stereotypes in one way or the other. If I try to be that pseudo-liberal stuff, then I am also a stereotype. Yep, we are pretending. Just be who you are, but don't display who you are to the other person. That is my point. Because not everybody may not be as liberal as you, as understanding as you. So they may have their own perspective. Huh? So let's just try not to offend somebody. That is my unfortunately, in this world, everybody is right in their place. That is the flaw of human existence. Everybody is right in their place. But let's not try and offend it. Offend that individual, him or her, whatever stereotype, whatever reason we are having. Let's not try and offend that other person. Okay, so that is just what I wanted to talk on this topic. Okay, let's move on. You see this slide? This was actually used in one of my classes in October. One of my classes in September. So this is what those guys of that classroom told. So it's a stereotype. It's not true. I may be more conjuice than a banya. Where is the stereotype? So all these are stereotypes. None of them work. Ashwini Gupta, yeah, Gupta are true blue banyas. Yep. So that is what, it's offensive. This term is offensive. This term is offensive. That's why I put it here in a stereotype. Everybody hits the correct thing here. But that is offensive. Yes, I would not use it in front of. I have friends who are from the Northeast. I would have never called them chinky, for heaven's sake. It's a derogatory term. It's a very offensive term. I have at least how many friends? We had in my college itself, I had about 7 to 8 people who were belonging to that northeastern belt. Tibet, Bhutan, East, those 7 sisters that we call, 7 northeastern states. They belong to that place, so what? They are my friends. And the very fact that they are from there, there's no problem for that perspective from my side. Na? And this is a very typical DU term. So those of you who studied it in DU, you would know this difference. You would know that what this term means. It's a very DU term. Okay. Or with this one, there is one more term that's very offensive for these people of the black race. That's also highly offensive. So highly offensive term. So please guys, at least learn this. Avoid these terms. Avoid these terms. See, for the song, yes, you have all that Snoop Dogg and gang, they are fine. But they are black themselves, they can say it on themselves. But if you say it, then it becomes offensive. You say, then it becomes offensive. No? That is their problem, not ours. So at least from our side, we should be cautious that we don't make those mistakes. No, colored is also ignorant. Black is the neutral term. Take permission first. Don't just start doing it. That's my point. Just be cautious. A French term for this, just don't make any of these. Just be cautious. Don't make a faux pas out of the whole thing. Just be cautious. That is all I'm trying to say in this. See this here? Next batch. Okay, this part I will agree with. Others, your differences. See, at least 3 people smiled. Chalo, good. That's also good enough. Well, I don't want to be beaten up. I have a very major fear of being beaten up publicly, and that too by girls. I'm sorry. I have that fear. So I will be diplomatic, I'll be politically correct, I'll be everything. And this is what they said in the classroom. I didn't write this. This is not my writing. That is not my writing. This is what the students themselves said. I've just typed out what they said to me. I'm just highlighting what they said and what I like here. Yeah, that's why I did that. Now I know that's why I did that. That is precisely why I did that. That is reverse stereotyping, using it for my benefit. Guys, have fun. Enjoy it, yaar. I am happy that you guys are doing this way. I'm happy that you are reminding me of the time of the fun that I had when we used to do these things in college. There's a very good friend of mine. We used to have these, what we used to call, there was this what we used to have in my grad college. Okay, DU mein it was naya DU had that trend. DU mein na, Delhi University has these fads that keep coming around. So उस time they had a new fad of these gender equality things. Okay, so I used to fight with this girl a lot, and we used to fight on the gender issues, but she still is one of my best friends in spite of all this fighting, because we moved beyond this. This didn't define our friendship. So all I'm trying to say with this point is, I know some of you may feel that I'm just rambling on and just being stupid about the whole thing, but there is some method into my madness, and the only method is that you guys should just accept the difference, understand that difference, and work according to that difference. Don't just one line more. I know some of you will come and beat me up, I'm packing you. So my only point is that just keep that difference in mind. Whether you accept it, you don't accept it, you like it, you don't like it, it impacts the effectiveness of your communication. So please keep these stereotypes, keep these perception issues. Just understand that. Just that is all that my aim is with this discussion. Okay, so I think I am through with this Purana wala session ka part. Okay, so let me just reload the fresh slides. So for 2 minutes the screen will change. Let me just load the fresh slides. Just give me 1 second.